A lot of my work with my bankers involves self-managed super fund borrowings. Credit recently changed the requirements that the bankers do not need what was called a financial advice certificate, which required a sign-off by an RG 146 advisor who had recommended or been involved with the technicalities of the deal. That's no longer required by credit, so the bankers now get the clients, the trustees, to sign that they will get the advice. And now whether they do or don't is not a credit concern anymore. What I've done in my business with my bankers, whenever they get an opportunity or a request from a client to borrow through the super funds, they refer them to me. Not only am I going to be able to do, through my experience, help the clients out with all, if they need the advice, on the Bare Trust setup, all the documentation around what they need to be involved with around the borrowing, but also I start talking about introducing what I think is very important is SMSF liquidity risk, because in most cases that I come across, the fund's only asset is going to be a bit of cash in the bank, but then this commercial property they're putting in to the fund through and with the assistance of a loan. So we have in that case a debt within the super fund. We've got the case or the position of being able to, the trustees that is, to pay out death benefits with what's going to be an illiquid asset. So I work with the clients showing them risk management around liquidity risk in the SMSF to show them how they can pay out a benefit without selling the property. But the other big advantage of doing that is that most of the clients I deal with, they're transferring their own business premises into their super funds. So the debt serviceability of that new loan is going to be reliant on not only contributions by and for those members, but also rental income from the company that's operating from that business premises. So if that business owner who is key to the business has a tragedy, gets incapacitated or gets long-term ill, that SMSF loan could be at risk in terms of serviceability, relying on rental income and or contributions. So with them having liquidity risk in place, that can be mitigated and looked after. But the other big advantage of introducing the risk side of SMSF risk is that because they've done all my homework on the company structure, their debts, their business structure, ownership, before I even talk about SMSF liquidity risk, if I haven't already seen their client about their normal key man or buy-sell or any other commercial business succession risk, I will use that SMSF opportunity to discuss that part as well, because I get the client to agree and understand that without the business risk being looked after, business debt cover, buy-sell, that could put the SMSF strategy at risk, because the SMSF may not be able to service that loan, which means that not only is the business at risk through normal standard non-SMSF risk mitigation around key man or buy-sell, but the SMSF could be at risk as well, which means ultimately that the customer's retirement planning could be at risk, because they may have to sell that property to repay debts and sell the business. So it's just a great tool I've used through an SMSF discussion to get back into or start discussions or include discussions around the business risk management.